Watching Addis News Hour with the news, I'm Tabitha John. Do stay with us. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has appointed Mohammed Idris as Director General of the Ethiopian Broadcasting Authority (EBA). Yonatan Tesfaye and Gizau Tesfaye were also appointed Deputy Director Generals of the authority. Actors in the field called upon media organizations to play their fair share in ensuring speedy information flow, thereby curtailing any potential negative impact of social media in the 6th general elections. These experts suggest the need to prioritize social media regulations before it spirals out of control during the upcoming elections. Alula Teklamariam has more.
Scholars recommend an effective social media policy to clearly communicate and state what is acceptable and what isn't. This could even be serious when it turns to be a means for negative impacts during election seasons. Accordingly, actors in the field express concern over the upcoming election and the use of social media.
ማህበራዊ ሚዲያው የሚያስፈራው እንደ ትሬት አሁንም የሚታየው ከምርጫው ጋር በተያያዘ ተጽዕኖ እንዳይፈጥር ነው። ከምርጫው በተለይ ደግሞ
There is a fear that the social media may prove a liability during the upcoming election. There might be even challenges in the post-election period where rows over election results cause unrest and the social media adds fuel on fire. For example, Kenya and Nigeria had to pass through trying times due to the wrong use of social media divided in ethnic lines. So, we must work on this platform before it is too late.
Elias called upon media organizations to play their fair share in ensuring speedy information flow, thereby curtailing negative impacts of social media in the 6th general elections.
በተለይ መረጃዎችን በፍጥነት ከማቅረብ አንፃር መንግስትም ትልቅ የራሱን ድርሻ ሊወጣ ይገባል። ሚዲያዎችም
In connection with providing accurate and speedy information flow to the public, both the government and the public have to play their role. The media needs to invest in provocative reporting and analysis, thereby preventing possible threats related to speculations of fake news.
The media has also been urged to contribute their fair share in raising public awareness concerning the social media usage.
ምርጫውን በተመለከተ የመደበኛው ሚዲያ ወይንም የሚኒስትሪ ሚዲያው
The mainstream media must raise public awareness in connection with the election and serve the public providing accurate information. They can also use social media to reach out the general public.
The Ethiopian Citizens for Social Justice, EZEMA, and the National Movement of the Amhara, NAMA parties say they have alternative policy ideas to ensure lasting peace in Ethiopia. They also disclosed that their policy options can be translated into reality if and when they win in the upcoming elections. Kasahun Chani tells us more.
About 46 parties will take part in the upcoming national elections slated for early July. These contestant parties have been busy promoting their platforms and alternatives to the general public. Two of these, EZEMA and NAMA, remain confident that their policy alternatives on peace and security appeal to voters. In an exclusive interview with the TV, chairperson of the Ethiopian Citizens for Social Justice Party, Ishwas Asafa, criticized the government for giving much less than expected attention to security.
The security situation in Ethiopia remains volatile. There is a hostile political environment where opposing and polarized views compete not for greater attention but for total control. The situation remains critical and the dynamism shocking. Thus, security remains a top priority.
Chairperson of National Movement for the Amhara, Beleta Molla, on his part argued the Constitution of 1995 is far from a result of national consensus. He criticized the Constitution for taking one side in divisive issues.
ሕገ መንግስቱ ብሔሮች በጫፍና በጫፍ አሰላለፍ እንዲገኙ መግባባት እንዳይኖር
The Constitution has built a buffer zone among the people. Thus, it has consistently preached division rather than unity. The constitution is a source of dismay for the Amhara. The constitution is based on an erroneous premise which portrays the Amhara as colonizers, thus effectively building a rift between them and other Ethiopians. Thus, we argue that the constitution is a source of division among Ethiopians.
The party's chairpersons further stated that they are working devotedly to solve these impediments to maintain peace and security throughout the country. If the party wins in the upcoming national election, it will work to translate its alternative policies.
We will abolish erroneous political tours guiding the ruling party's policy and structure. If we win the election, the constitution pledges to create a homogeneous political and economic society. But that is not happening due to the divisive policies undertaken so far. Thus, we will introduce policy and structural reforms if we win the election. We will press ahead with our major political manifesto of revising the constitution. Also, there should be a government of the people and a truly representative one with all the mandates. Another pillar of our policy is building trustworthy institutions manned by technocrats as opposed to cadres.
The chairpersons further stated that the parties are exerting maximum efforts for ensuring peace and tranquility during the election and its aftermath.
እና ዳንግላ የሚለው ስያሜ የተሰጠ በመጀመሪያ ዋግምራ ወይም ሰቆጣ ከሚባል አካባቢ ላይ 7 ወንድማማች አገዎች እንደመጡና ወንድማማቾች ወደዚህ አካባቢ ይመጣሉ። ሲያዩት ለምለም ቦታ ሆኖ ያገኙታል። ሲፈልጉ እና በቋንቋቸው ሲነጋገሩ ዳንግ ራሱ ዳንግ ነው ስሙ። የት ሄደ እላ ማለት ባገውኛ የለም ማለት ነው። እዚህ አካባቢ የለም እና ዳንግላ የሚለው ስያሜ ከዚህ አንጻር የመጣ ነው።
የከተማዋ ጉዳይ ከበፊቱ አሁን የተሻሻለ ነገር ነው ያለው።
You're watching Addis News Hour. R&B singer The Weeknd has promised to donate $1 million, an equivalent of 700,000 pounds, to Ethiopians caught up in the conflict in Tigray. The star, born Abel Tesfaye in Canada, is the son of Ethiopian immigrants. Quote, "My heart breaks for my people of Ethiopia, as innocent civilians ranging from small children to the elderly are being senselessly murdered," he said. The Weeknd said on Twitter and Instagram that his $1 million donation would go to the UN's World Food Program to pay for 2 million meals. The singer has become one of the biggest chart stars of the last decade, with hits including Blinding Lights. He has spoken before about his Ethiopian heritage, telling Rolling Stone magazine in 2015 that his grandmother would take him to services at their Ethiopian Orthodox Church in Canada, that his first language was Amharic, and that his vocal style was influenced by the Ethiopian singer Aster Aweke. The Progress Integrated Community Development says it has been working on sensitizing and awakening marginalized groups on the need to vote during the upcoming elections. As Ethiopia's 6th general and parliamentary elections draws nearer, the role of civic societies remains pivotal. The civic organization operating mainly in the newly formed Sidama state says the amended civic society law has given a much wider space for CSOs to actively engage in the elections. Goshu Meliso has the following account.
Civil society organizations have an irreplaceable role in educating the people to vote for a party of their choice. One such civic society organization, ETV English, talked to hopes to sensitize marginalized groups about the need to vote during the polls scheduled for June this year.
Our role is specifically focused on voters, particularly women, youth, disabled people. They didn't get the opportunity to participate in the election process. So now, mainly we focus on this target group, on women, on youth, and people with disability, and encourage them to participate in this election.
Saying election is a tool in the democratization process, Denmark expressed the organization's readiness to contribute its fair share to make the process as smooth as it could be.
Our role is to make voters ready, willing, and able to participate in electoral process. As you know, in the democratization process, election is one of the tools to, promote the democratization process.
Denmark called on all civil society organizations and other stakes to play their role in educating the community about the need to ensure free and fair election.
Only civil society organizations who got the license and who are interested to participate in the election cannot bring such motivation in the community. All private institutions, government institutions, the media, all stakeholders should participate and intensify. We have only 2 months remaining, and within these 2 months, we have to commit ourselves and intensify the education and other education process, awareness creation processes.
The executive director lauded the government and the National Election Board for the commendable support and initiative they have taken so far, adding this needs to continue during the remainder of the process. He also reiterated the need to vote for parties based on their
And finally, despite efforts to clarify the truth regarding the situation in Tigray, Western media outlets continue to disseminate malicious propaganda and white lies to the world. This came in a recent reaction by the Ethiopian embassy in Brussels to one such grossly biased article which appeared in the De Morgan. The embassy said it is concerned about the report about the recent condition in the state of Tigray, which it said is slanted. The De Morgan has published an article written by a freelance writer and journalist named Eric Raspoet on the 30th of March 2021, which the embassy said is a gross misrepresentation of the situation in Tigray. Haptamu Ashagri brings us up to speed.
The Ethiopian embassy in Brussels expresses serious concern about an article which appeared in the De Morgan regarding the state of Tigray. According to the embassy, the article has forwarded several malicious and sensational insights not only about the current situation in the state of Tigray, but also about the region's future. The embassy added that the writer used unverified data to support his biased article. De Morgan said the embassy entertaining such divisive views is uncalled for. The writer also expressed personal concerns and opinions about the state of Tigray region despite using the opportunity to work in Ethiopia as a professor through the Ethio-Belgium Education Corporation. As an academician, he could have used his knowledge to tell the truth about how Ethiopians are a multicultural society mingled through, among others, way of life, religion, and intermarriages, the embassy underlined. The Embassy of Ethiopia, it said, remains available for a candid discussion with any concerned party and accepts constructive and balanced criticisms and dealing with and order ascertaining operations that was concluded in 3 weeks in November 2020, it was learned. The professor has even the audacity to call the law enforcement campaign as an invasion. The world is familiar with the truth now, it said, adding the cause for the operation was unwarranted attack of the Ethiopian National Defense Force by the TPLF clique, the embassy added. What the professor claims to have collected as evidence of casualties in Aksum and other areas of Tigray better be channeled to the ongoing independent investigation in the country. One wonders why he fails to mention atrocities committed in Maikadra right at the beginning of the law and order ascertaining operation. Ethiopia continues to deliver 70% of the humanitarian aid demand in the Tigray region. Thus, for about 4.2 million beneficiaries have been reached, the embassy added.
You're watching Addis News Hour. A quick reminder of today's headlines. Experts called upon concerned bodies to curtail the negative impact of social media in the upcoming elections. And Ethiopian embassy in Brussels reacted to slanted views and malicious propaganda